Lisa here with Essential Life, and I am a big tea drinker. Love tea and am passionate about teaching others how to appreciate tea, not only for its flavor, but it's just good for you. We all are just, I know, so totally addicted to our coffee, and I definitely am guilty. I'm a coffee drinker. I drink 1 cup every day, but usually after that, if I want something warm and energizing or even just relaxing to drink, I usually go for tea. So I'm going to put one of my favorite recipes up on a video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And feel free to adapt it to your own tastes. You don't have to do everything that I do. You can add or take out whatever you don't like. But anyway, this is what I do, and so I'm going to show it to you. It is a pumpkin spice tea. And I'm really, I have spent a lot of money on pumpkin spiced cafe lattes or whatever at Starbucks over the years. I love them. They're great. They're expensive, and they're just filled with a lot of really empty calories, a lot of sugar, a lot of artificial sweeteners, even though they do taste good. But I thought this is kind of a nice compromise, and I really just don't feel guilty indulging or indulging my kids too. So this is what I use. I start usually with my little favorite teapot here, which is has a little strainer basket inside. You can use whatever you like. You can even use just a regular little hand strainer over a teacup if you want to do that. You can even actually put your tea leaves in hot water and let them steep that way, and then run them through a strainer. But this is just easy. I like it this way. So once you've got your water boiling, the general rule of thumb for tea is generally about a teaspoon of tea leaves per cup of water. I'm really not big into measuring, but that's what they say for the perfect cup of tea. This is how I do it. So again, adapt it to whatever you like, and like I said, it's not perfect. It's just what I like. So this is red rooibos tea, which actually grows from the rooibos bush in Africa. It's known to be really rich in minerals. It's great for your immune system, great for tension or allergies and digestion. It is a decaffeinated tea, which is great, especially if the afternoon is when you kind of get a craving for some kind of a tea. So I usually take about 1 teaspoon, put it in my pot, and then you can or don't have to add this, but for flavor, a lot of times I'll add a little bit of black tea, and black tea does have caffeine in it. Generally, not quite as much as coffee, but I just like the flavor of it. And if I don't drink it past like 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm usually okay with the caffeine. You can also do this with green tea if you'd like, and that is comes in both caffeinated or decaf. The one I have happens to have caffeine in it. The other thing that you want to add for this, and you can even simply just add like a pumpkin pie spice if you like. That's really simple. You don't have to go out and buy all of these bulk spices. But I just have them because, like I said, as you can see, I'm kind of a tea freak. So this is ginger, and I use maybe just about a quarter or a little more than a quarter to a half a teaspoon of ginger. Depends on how much you like it. It's got a kind of a spicy hot flavor. It's great for digestion, and it warms you up. So if you're feeling sick, this time of year a lot of people are coming down with colds and all kinds of garbage going around, so ginger is a great one for you. Cinnamon, next thing I add, and cinnamon, again, very great for kind of warming up the body. It's really good for any kind of a circulation, for blood circulation, great for, I think it's really good for helping to even balance out your sugar levels. So I usually would say maybe about probably a quarter of a teaspoon to a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then I don't have the nutmeg bulb, but ideally that would be what you would want to use. But I've just got some nutmeg here that I'm going to sprinkle in, and I'm going to say maybe again about 1/8 of a teaspoon, just to taste. I like nutmeg, so I usually give it a little extra. That's what I use for my teas and my spices. You can certainly add other things if you'd like to, but that's what I do. And then you're going to fill her up with water and let it steep for about maybe, ideally, 20 minutes is really good for a good flavor, but 10 minutes is probably fine. Put your little lid on, let it steep, and then I do like sweetener in my tea. You don't have to use sweetener, but there's some options that you can use. Ideally, best to use something like a raw organic honey, just because it's just good for you, great for your immune system, great for allergies, that kind of thing. There's also like honey powder, which is nice because it's got a good long shelf life. If you want to use agave, that's another great sweetener. It does not spike your blood sugar levels. It's good and sweet. Comes in different flavors. I've got a maple one here, which would be really good, and also a plain. And then if you just are a die-hard sugar fan, that's fine too. You can always add a sugar cube. And again, in any kind of a dark tea like this, like a black tea or rooibos or a honey bush, I generally use a cream or a half and half. It's not, this is a organic half and half. You can use a fat-free. You don't have to use anything, but it's just much, then you've got that kind of a latte flavor if you do that. So what you're going to want to do is once your tea is steeped, you can add your honey. You can add a little bit of half and half. Pour in your tea, stir it up, and you're just going to find it's just such a comforting and great thing on any day. You could even do this iced in the summer if you like. So try it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Be blessed and be well.